Okay, I'm not gonna start from scratch this time. I'm gonna start from a totally solved white face with all the corners and edge pieces in the right spot. And this next sequence is called solving the middle layer. This was the first time in the solution process where we've got a couple of things to be mindful of. And the solution guide is easy to follow, but I think it's probably helpful to have an explanation. So you'll notice you have two different situations, and it depends on whether you're going to be making a move that's clockwise or counterclockwise. So this one right here is when you're moving it clockwise, and here's counterclockwise. And what they mean by that is when you solve the middle layer, you turn the cube upside down, so now the white's on the bottom. And what you do is you try to create a vertical. The only pieces that we can work with right now are the pieces that are not yellow. So let's take this piece right here. I want to create a vertical column of all blue. And then I have to decide, all right, which side this is. Obviously, right now it's the edge piece that's blue and red. It's not blue and yellow, so it's not in the right spot. I want it to be somewhere in this middle layer, which means I'm either going to turn it this way or that way. And that's what they mean by these two different scenarios. Well, I look to the side on the left, that's orange, that's not the right place. And I look, red. I want this piece right here to go right here. And to do that, I would be turning it clockwise. Well, the piece itself is moving clockwise. I'm not turning the face that way. So that means I'm going to follow the clockwise pattern. I'm going to go upper layer, upper inverse, right inverse, upper inverse, front inverse, upper layer, front. That's what each of these things means. Okay? Now I'm not going to go super fast, but I'm going to do that sequence of moves. So upper right, upper inverse, right inverse, upper inverse, front inverse, upper side, and front. So I just got that piece where I want it. As you can see, I still have work to do. Now, when you get yourself into a, remember, you're only interested in working with edge pieces that don't have any yellow on them. So the only one I've got that I could work with next is this green-red edge. So let's move the green one to a vertical stripe. Now, which side do I want to move it to? The red side or the orange side? Well, obviously this is red, so I want to move it to the red. Now, what's good about that is now we're going to go counterclockwise. So now you'll see what the other move looks like. This one, with it facing me like this, is upper inverse, left inverse, upper layer, left layer, upper layer, front layer, upper layer, inverse, and front layer, inverse. So it looks like this. Okay, so that piece got moved. I'm getting closer. Now I've got the green-orange piece, which I again want over here. So now I'm using the clockwise, because it's moving in a clockwise way. I want it to rotate from here to here, which is clockwise. So upper right inverse, upper inverse, right inverse, upper inverse again, front inverse, front clockwise, sorry, up clockwise, front clockwise. And here we go. So I'm close, right? I'm actually only missing one piece. And in fact, if I could just pull this piece out and switch it, which some people do, which is cheating, I'd be there. But here's the problem. I don't have any pieces left that aren't yellow. So when that happens, it says if none of the edge pieces is already in the middle row, or it's in the middle row but in the wrong position, like this guy, you could do either one of these two sequences and it'll scoot it up to the top and then I'll be ready to go. So I'm just going to do the, let's see, I'll do the clockwise one. Up, right, up, right. Okay, so now that piece is moved to the upper layer, which means I can scoot it over on top of orange, and I see that to fix it, to my last step, I'm going to have to move it clockwise. So I'm going to do that sequence one more time. Up, right. All right, hold on a second. I just lost track of what I was doing. All right. And that happens. Trying to talk and do the cube at the same time, I've learned, is not very easy. So I'm going to stop talking now. Okay, here we go. We've now got the middle layer solved. All the white's there, and if I just ignore the bottom layer, it looks like I've got a totally perfectly solved Rubik's Cube. Now, as you can imagine, our next goal is going to be to turn it upside down. In the next video, we'll talk about getting what's called the yellow cross.